Okay, okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Executive Director for Humanities Team, and welcome to this 15-minute program with Jonathon Goldman. Jonathon is a dear friend of Humanities Team and Global Oneness Day. He's created a sound healing moment just for Global Oneness Day 2017. I'm going to formally introduce him here now. Jonathon Goldman is an international authority on sound healing and a pioneer in the field of harmonics. Jonathon is director of the Sound Healers Association and president of Spirit Music, Inc., that's based in Boulder, Colorado. He's a Grammy nominee who has created numerous best-selling award-winning recordings, including The Divine Name. Jonathon is an internationally acknowledged master teacher, facilitating healing sound seminars at centers and expos throughout the United States and Europe. Welcome to Global Oneness Day. Jonathon, it's great to have you with us.
Steve, my friend, it is wonderful to be here and wonderful to be on camera with you. What a blessing.
Okay, brother, absolutely. A blessing. And as I mentioned, Jonathon, he's a friend and he lives right here in Boulder near me. So such a pleasure to have you here with us again for Global Oneness Day. Jonathon, I'm going to go straight in because there's so much that we'd like to get into our 15-minute program. And I thought I'd start with just talking about the latest studies on sound that's revealing that humming helps with stress levels, sleep, blood pressure, increases lymphatic circulation, releases endorphins, creates new neural pathways in the brain, and boosts blood production. Can you share more about this? Because, of course, you're an authority on this.
Well, no, actually, I think that what you did was just fine because it does all that. One of the things that I really like about humming also is that it releases this molecule called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a vasodilator, so it literally expands the veins and the blood going through our veins, which is really helpful for all sorts of things, from not only sinus headaches to it's been used for cardiovascular things, and I'm quite sure that in the not too distant future we're going to find it has great implications in terms of the neurological system in the brain. So we like to say the simplest sound is the most profound, and the hum is something that everybody everywhere can make. It's you don't need a PhD in musicology in order to hum.
Yeah, and Jonathon, you might hold up a copy of your book. This is a beautiful book, the Humming Effect. And as you can see, this is from Jonathon and his wife Andy. And Jonathon, one of the things you were sharing about humming, which was startling, is you were talking to a woman who had had a stroke, and you were sharing of how she might hum, and then what happened after that. Do you want to just share that story briefly?
Well, I mean, exactly what happened was that it turned out to be my mother-in-law, and both my wife and I can basically hear, shall we say, and read people in their speech, and we could hear that her voice was getting a little slurry and whatnot. Knew that something was going on, and she knows enough about our work that she's willing to try anything. She's 94 now. She's a really good sport. And I said to her, I said, Ma Betty, I said, can you find out from your doctor where in your brain the problem is, and then just hum for 5 minutes a day, closing your eyes and directing the sound to that area of your body. And she said, sure. And then I'd call her every day, and Steve, within a couple of days, I began to notice a difference. And a couple more days, her speech was back to normal. Now, maybe that is just a coincidence, but as this one scientist said, the plural of anecdote is data. And I think that very soon we're going to find this out, and it's really, really important that our own self-created sound, such as humming, creates what is called vibroacoustics, which means it literally resonates our cells, and through resonating our cells, it can resonate all sorts of different things, putting us in balance. That's one way. And the other way, that through our voices and through music, the sound goes into our ear, and this is called psychoacoustics, and the sound goes into our ear and into our brain, and also affects us on a neurological level that way, affecting our heartbeat, our respiration, and our brain waves. So it's, I'm really, really impressed with sound. I've only been working with it for 35 years now, and I keep getting more and more impressed.
Yeah, well, I've been walking around my house humming a lot more since I started reading your book, Jonathan. So I'm a believer, and let's bring in also. It's fascinating because, as you know, there's a spiritual use of humming, including how it's used in the sonic yoga technique, but in other ways in the world religious traditions too. Do you want to just briefly, for a minute or so, speak to that?
Certainly. Well, my wife Andy and I wanted to write a book on sounds that people didn't think they needed a PhD in musicology or being a professional musician. We thought, what is the simplest, easiest sound? Well, it's a hum. And the more we delved into it, not only did we find this peer-reviewed scientific information, we found out that in a lot of the, shall we say, spiritual traditions, the hum is actually the sound of creation. And from the Yoga Sutras, in the beginning was pranava, and the pranava is the humming of prana, and they had to give it a name, so they called it Om. So Om actually came from the humming of prana.
Oh, perfect. And let's just we've got a little gift here. This is going to really be fun, everybody. So we're going to step through something now. There's a healing sound experience that Jonathan created just for Global Oneness Day. We're going to go into that experience right now.
Well, thank you, Steve. This is just so very, very important because on a level, we can, putting our heart and our brain into a state of coherence, really amplify our electromagnetic field. Then if we add the element of sound, we can make our electromagnetic field even greater, and we can literally interface with what I call the Gaia matrix, the energy of our planet. So what I'd like to do now, in a very, very short amount of time, is have your listeners join in. They can either listen, or they can hum, or they can do an Om with all these sounds. But in the interim, I'm going to begin this healing sounds experience by just simply having a little bit of a breathing and guided meditation. So let's begin by first taking a nice deep breath, breathing in and breathing out as you listen to my voice. So having taken this nice deep breath and breathing in, breathing out, as we're breathing in this manner, let's also begin to think of something that you feel gratitude and appreciation for. It can be something, it can be a person, a spouse, an offspring, a parent, a friend, a loved one, or it can be a pet, or a beautiful sunrise somewhere, perhaps a wonderful mountain stream, or the waves lapping against the ocean, something that you feel grateful for. Visualize whatever it is that you feel grateful for. And then as we continue with this, I'd like you to feel not only gratitude and appreciation, but begin as you're breathing to feel the breath actually going in and out through your heart. Breathing in and out through your heart. And as the sound that we're going to make occurs, we're feeling the sound basically and the breath going in and out through our heart, like there's a tube going through the heart, and it's literally creating this coherence. And finally, I ask that you visualize a holographic image of the earth floating in front of you. And as you listen to these sounds that are going to happen, and perhaps make your own sounds, such as an Om or a hum, I want you to visualize a beautiful golden pink energy coming from yourself and interfacing with the field of our Gaia matrix, the energy of our Mother Earth. And as we do this, you know that this energy is helping bring consciousness to all beings on our beloved planet. So I think that would be just a wonderful thing that we trust will begin very, very soon. And just listen, and the sound is happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. Jonathan, that was extraordinary. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for creating that sound healing moment for Global Oneness Day.
Why I made that for all of us so that we can help shift and change the vibratory frequency of our planet and just uplift all the beings on it. What a blessing. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to share with you and all your listeners and all the extraordinary beings taking part in Global Oneness Day. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you, Jonathan. No, it was a total pleasure. And also, don't miss World Sound Healing Day that Jonathan and his wife and co-creators manifest every Valentine's Day. So be sure to look for details for that. It's completely aligned with Global Oneness Day. It's about healing ourselves and healing the planet. So, Jonathan, thank you again. That was absolutely spectacular.
Thank you, Steve. My blessings. Thank you. And here, I'm going to just lift up so you can see that I'm wearing my Sri Yantra t-shirt over there.
Okay, perfect. Thanks again for being with us. And next up is a blessing for Global Oneness Day that was created especially for Global Oneness Day 2017 by Pierre Praderbahn. Pierre Praderbahn wrote a book called The Gentle Art of Blessing. That's truly an extraordinary book. It was made into a video on YouTube that's also extraordinary. You don't want to miss this program. It's a 15-minute program up next. Before we go to the next program, we're going to enjoy a oneness moment and experience 10 seconds of silence so we may connect with the divine within and each other. Let's go ahead and begin our oneness moment now.